Soul Garden.
One of the problems with love is we don't know ourselves well enough to know who we want. Introducing Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. You send us your date of birth, we send you a custom video, and we'll talk all about you. The kind of charisma you have, your personality, are you funny, not funny? What's a perfect romance? What's a perfect wedding? What's a perfect home? And what not to do with you. Find out the secret to your heart at secretsofbirthdays.com. End all the uncertainty. Order one now. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Ray Manwateki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. Well, Mother Earth is under the love rays of Virgo. In fact, Chapter 2 of Sun in Virgo, we're going to wrap up Chapter 2 this week. We're working on reality, the IB state of awareness, and we're going to transform our reality this week and become proficient at what we do. By the end of the week, we will step into what I call Master Shui, where we rule our lives literally from our passion. Now, looking at emotions, the moon starts with Love Fest Day on Sunday, and then on Monday, we have a little bit of Sirius as the moon crosses over Saturn in Scorpio. It gets jolly again on Thursday and Friday in Sagittarius, and Sirius again in Capricorn this weekend. The moon signs most affected are Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, and on the dark side of the moons, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. Looking at our orbits, man, emotions are harboring around our throat chakra this week. That's because the moon in Libra and Scorpio. But then by the end of the week, it hits your sinuses. Now, emotions can literally clog you up, especially something you don't want to talk about. Lilith and Jupiter has finally stabilized in our solar plexus, and that means we're not going to have as much digestion issues. And there's a party going on in the heart chakra, and Mercury is now moved up to the throat chakra, which means truths will be spilling out from now through Halloween. Going to be fun. Indeed, those truths, right? Looking at the planets, we have really mostly, I think, the most important trine of the day is this one, Black Lilith at 10 degrees this week, trining Saturn. What this means is that we are really, for some, turning our back on some multi-lifetime deep emotional karma, or at least till childhood. So many people of all ages are kind of, as a whole planet, unifying and saying goodbye to some old karma, in some cases relationships, in some cases emotional damage. But the good news is we are actually healing, folks. This light work actually works. You're going to feel that with that trine. Now, we've been feeling this for a while, the T-square. It was a grand square for a while with Venus, but the good news is having Venus transit through Libra on the opposite side of Uranus, it really gave us the ability to see what's fair, to process through what's fair. And this week, you're going to see some movement on the T-square, or some inner movement anyways, because now you're operating from a sense of justice. That's good news. I'll talk about that upstairs. And then lastly, this is interesting as well, Venus is transiting up into Scorpio. That's the next transit, which means we're going to be creating and destroying, right? Venus is the sign of creativity. Scorpio is the gateway, so relationships, all sorts of things creating and destroying. But it's all trining into Neptune in Pisces, which to me says whatever is being created and destroyed might be fate. That's right. When God, universe, or Pisces energy comes into that sort of interaction or intersection of energy, usually this is the hand of fate, as in certain births, as in, of course, certain deaths, and, of course, certain successes. So that's also something to be looking out for. And then finally, getting close on the planets, as the week starts off, it's Love Fest Day, then Sirius as the moon crosses over that Saturn in Scorpio. And at the end of the week, again, like I said, it gets serious because the moon crosses Pluto in Capricorn. Now, let's take a look at the real important details, the details about you. So climb in the ascension elevator and I'll see you upstairs.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, soul healers, and welcome to 33,000 feet. This is also for Virgo risings, and happy birthday to the Virgos. Well, it's all about your birthday right now. You're working on ego consciousness. It's about your heart on what actions you do or don't do. That's what ego is. When we take action, we don't take action. And we really define by action. Even in the old days, remember, you were a bricklayer, right? Or you were a brickman. Your name was Brickman if you laid bricks. I mean, we even got named after what we did. So it's about what do you do, what do you not do, and up until now, you've been cutting away from the things that harm your ego, or ego going too far, or overstepping. Or in some cases, you're just tired of old actions. You want to change what you do. You want to change the actions that you take. So that was what everything led up until now. Another story, personal limits. It's time for the mind games to end, for the arguments to end, for the self-doubting to end. So Saturn is forcing you to say no to negative thinking this week and be strong for yourself with negative thinking. You're also becoming far more sensitive to your reputation in the world, far more popular probably, a lot of good luck things happening when it comes to putting yourself out there in the world and expanding your social reputation, etc. However, it is time now that you have cut the bad stories. Black Lilith at step 10 says that the bad stories, the bad friendships, the bad associations, the bad reputation, anything negative, anything from the past, anything that's bruised, hopefully is now cut away. So that's good news. And then finally, struggling for strength when it comes to personal trust, trying to innovate your own personal boundaries with yourself. It's hard to be strong and be flexible at the same time, and a lot of that is being triggered from the opposition between social life and inner child. So your own heart and how it's going in the world, really challenging trust issues, and that's where we start. Now we start this week, we are moving from chapter 2 to chapter 3, so this is moving out of the actions and into identity. Your identity is basically the sum of your actions, and this week you're going to be working on your courage and your willpower, and you're going to move to really hopefully take a leap and step up on personal courage. Now the sun moves from step 16 to step 22, so that's a very intuitive beginning of what action to take next, and by the end of the week you've taken an action and we're seeing is it working or not. Your mind has already thought through this and you're already thinking ahead to how am I going to pay for it and do I have the courage to do it. Now Jupiter in Cancer is the part that's pushing for you to expand your social life and where you can be out there in the world. And this week you finally do get to come to some peace. Step 15 means you're finally at peace, your heart is content, I think, with where you are heading in the world, and by the end of the week you're starting to feel out what's next and intuit out what's next. Black Lilith at step 10 says you must now love and trust that the old type of friendship won't come back, or the old reputation won't come back, that the old gray goose, as they say in that nursery song, is dead. And then lastly, Saturn in Scorpio is the force saying you must draw lines in your mind, say no to the old thinking, say no to the old thoughts, say no to the old arguments, say yes to a positive mindset. So it's time to decide and commit to the mind games you're going to want to end, or the conversations you want to end with yourself or others by the end of the week. Now last week it was all about Light Cast Day, and that new moon in your house of ego made Virgos very confident. You might have gambled on that confidence, it might have paid off, not paid off, and you might have had some breakdown. It was a double whammy of a Light Cast Day and Uranus, a lot of shifting. In most cases I found people being elevated out of their old situation. So you might have been like a phoenix where your ego died and was reborn between Thursday and Friday. The light bulb went off, and hopefully by Saturday things were feeling good. This week, Sunday starts for Love Fest Day, the most juicy day of the month to exchange love and affection with everyone and tell everyone that you love them. It's a Neptune ruled day, and so it's a day where you're really kind of intuiting what actions to take next. Love Fest technically happens with soul capital and money, so Sunday is a good day for making money, or perhaps making introductions that will lead to money. On Monday, it's time to make a decision, and what you're deciding is what to cut away from, of course, what doesn't work, old action, old behavior, maybe even old wardrobe. This might be you deciding what haircut you want to get. Remember, it is ego, it's the shallow part of us too, but it is a commitment to forever end what we learned in the beginning of your birthday period, and a commitment to head for what we think strength and ego and character will be. That's Monday. Then the moon's in Scorpio, so you're going to have a strong-willed mind when you're making that decision, and a mind game may be what leads to that decision. On Tuesday, action rules the day with a chance of anxiety or falling into old arguments, so be careful. You want to take action and move forward. There's a chance of arrogance for the Virgos, but definitely move forward with your agenda, move out of what's bad, and avoid conflict if possible. Everyone is aggressive. On Wednesday, the moon is still in Scorpio, so now you're pensive, a bit withdrawn. You're loving and trusting that you did the right thing or you didn't do the right thing, right? And Wednesday is really kind of a day of a hump day and of faith. On Thursday, it gets passionate. We get into Master Shui now. The moon moves into Sagittarius, and so this really shifts emotion to nesting and resting. It's possible that if you don't have nice mind games, you could be really in some anxiety on Thursday, so be nice to yourself. self-nurture, and you have my permission to call in sick if you want to, because ultimately it's going to be a day of nesting and resting. Your emotions need a break. It's your birthday. You're probably exhausted by Thursday, so be nice to yourself. Then comes Friday. Now Friday might be a day you want to call in sick too, because the moon is still nesting and resting. Again, you're really connecting to emotion, family, trying to ground yourself. But because Jupiter rules the day and is your birthday, you will be feeling like your birthday even though you might be hiding under the covers. So it's a day where by exploring out of your normal comfort zones, you might discover something. This is a day where you might want to try a different path, a different action, a different way of doing it, different ingredients, different, exotic, alien, all those sorts of things. This is what it will pay off with opening your mind on Friday. Then Saturday, this is really the rainbow bright day of the week. This is where there's going to be Uranus ruling the day, so there's a potential for profound breakthrough. You could also have a breakdown. This is something where you want to kind of keep your ego in check, because the moon in Capricorn is going to fill your inner child with joy. So you'll be excited and hard to keep yourself still. Now it is your birthday, so you might get a surprise where this might be where the birthday present comes in or someone announces something. And if you do have a letdown on Saturday, don't worry. These types of letdowns this late in the transit usually lead to a last-minute surprise breakthrough from a different direction. So that's when you miss the car, you get the free limo, that sort of thing. So don't be disappointed. Keep an eye out on Saturday if that's the case. Now, Virgos, I do want to invite you down for some exciting changes on the most loving place on the internet, soulgarden.me. We've been working very hard all summer long to develop new talent, and we have new practitioners who are on camera with us now. And we're beginning to totally develop our new directions of teaching and fun. Now, the first place I want to talk about is Wednesdays. Wednesdays is, of course, Master Winefeather. So if you want to connect with a tarot reader, he's amazing, he's ancient, he has all the smarts, and he'll answer your tarot card question on camera in Witeki Theater. Then you can learn astrology with Dawn Leahy. These are all recorded, by the way. But if you have a chart and you have questions, we developed Dawn Leahy, she developed herself, actually. I shouldn't put it that way. We work with Dawn. She's amazing. Try to always keep that ego down, right? Oops, going the wrong way here. Then also, we have later Practical Wizardry with yours truly, and I'm teaching practical magic. And if you haven't seen your birthday ones for Virgo, these are really good because I'm talking about details and how details play into our personal magic. And then at the end of Wednesdays, we have Dr. Matt Turner, and he's going to help you channel Live Psychic live on the air. So if you want a psychic reading, he's the guy for you. Then on Fridays, that's the other cool day we've developed with talent. We've got Melody Ann. She will help you with your personal voice and stepping into your vocal power. Welcome Zen Shoemaker. She's got a show called Dear Zen where you can ask her questions and she will master Taurus it for you. And we've brought back Astro Gossip with 4 young astrologers here to make you laugh and talk about what's going on. So these are all in the new Witeki Theater. This is a live shot basically of Witeki Theater and how we chat together and hang out. And we invite you to come on down and hang out with our new talent at soulgarden.me. Can you tell I didn't rehearse that enough? Sorry about that, Virgos. Well, that's all I have for this week. All I can say is, you're a nitpicky person, so pick the details you love the most and let go of the details you don't care about. That's where the power is for Virgos. Have a great birthday week. I love you. I'll see you in 7 days. Live, love, be.
TV.
With the moon in Cancer, emotions and intellect are now coming together like a Reese's penis. Oops. Reese's penis.